Okay, I'm so sorry about this. I had to redo this all the fuck over again. So we're looking at Thor. This is a book called, as we'll show, 50 Fabulous Decades of Marvel. This is Spider-Man the cover. I got this for $5 at my local library. So Chris Hemsworth, some guy named Chris Hemsworth, as we know as Thor, was training along with Bobby Holland Hanton. And Bobby Holland Hanton is his stunt double, along with Chris Evans, who does Captain America. And if you've been following the movies, let me show you Captain America's profile for a moment. If you've been following the movies, you know Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., all that stuff. I haven't been following too many of those movies, but I'm really keeping up with Civil War and Ant Man. There's Captain America. So Bobby Holland Hanton, big strong guy. He looks like Thor, but he's been doing superhero stunt doubles for a while. I'll give you a little bit of his profile. He started out as a gymnast at 4 years old, training for gold medals, some silver medals, and he eventually turned to football. I'm not sure if that's. I don't think it's American football. It might be soccer, but either way, he did some sports, and he caught the attention of a lot of people uh, to do commercials for Pepsi and such. And at some point, he eventually considered doing stunt work, and he had to learn archery, trampolining, gymnasts, swimming, high diving, um, low diving, I guess, like scuba diving. So Bobby Holland Hanton, this is a guy who can do so many things. He's very skilled. Aerial flips, handstands, just balancing on your hands, right? Back flips, front flips, wire work, hanging onto trucks, uh, all kinds of things. I mean, this guy is so clever. He can really do so many things. Go through fire, go through some glass. It's all the glass and the fire is staged carefully so he doesn't get hurt. But this is a guy who started out as Daniel Craig's stunt double for Quantum of Solace. Then I think he worked with Tom Cruise. He did do Inception. He did um, Robin Hood, I think, with Russell Crowe, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the last two movies, the parts one and two. Um, and he was also, let me see if I can show you, it was Green Lantern. He was also Ryan Reynolds' stunt double for Green Lantern. That movie didn't do so well. So he kind of fucked around, did a lot of different movies. His some of his videos are viral. Um, his Twitter's closed for the most part, but you're welcome to send him a tweet. I'll send him a tweet definitely. But this is a guy who doesn't fuck around. I mean, he fucks around, but he's doing it because he wants the superheroes to look really good. And I was impressed. So a lot of times you'll see. So right now, Chris Hemsworth is training in Morocco with Bobby. He's Chris Hemsworth, of course, is he's doing. He's not doing not heavy weightlifting, nothing like that, but more like 20 minutes a day. Doing upper body strength, lower body strength, lifting a couple of 100 pounds, barbells and such. Uh, and Bobby does a little bit more with jumps and flips and everything. He does everything. Bobby's like a real superhero. He can do almost anything you can think of. I mean, that guy doesn't fuck around. So I'm very impressed. And there's not enough. I mean, you'll see some videos here and there, but most stunt people are humble people. Uh, Let me turn for me a second to get my reactions on things. When you see a man like that, or we see some people, sometimes they have their own stunt reels on YouTube. There's an eye stunts, kind of like their own separate thing on eye stunts. But for the most part, most stunt people are humble. They don't put themselves out there too much like Hollywood stars, like Chris Hemsworth would do, or Jennifer Lawrence, or other people. They would put themselves out there for people to see. When you see a man like this is a guy who just works. He works hard. He may get injured. He may get hurt. but this is a guy who works hard. He gets his Taurus awards. He gets nominated once a year. Um, but this is a guy who he just loves it. He loves the performance. He loves going through the fire. He loves going through, uh, you know, truck, car stunts, everything. I mean, this guy does just a little bit of everything. So when he was trained to, become that Hollywood stuntman, that's also work. So that's hard. I can only do this much. I mean, I do, when I work out every day, I do push ups, I do sit ups, I do bicycles, I do leg stretches. Um, this is as good as it gets, as far as this goes. I'm not muscular. So that guy can do a lot of everything, okay? You want him to be Superman stunt double? Well, I don't know, that takes, there's probably a little bit of red tape there, but Superman, Batman, um, James Bond, Jason Bourne, um, probably not Tom Cruise's stunt double too much because Tom Cruise likes to do his own stunts. But Bobby Holland Hanton is someone who is like Superman. He is the American hero, and I hope one day he does, star in his own movie, just him without subbing in for someone else, because this guy, I'm sure, has his own story. Even if he stars in a movie that doesn't get a lot of likes, maybe it gets like a fraction. It does as good as the Venom movie. Where people love the Venom. That Venom movie sold well overnight. It did, but it's not the greatest movie in the world. So I can't see Bobby getting the greatest reception as Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans, who's retiring as Captain America soon. But I do see him putting his best effort and getting a lot of reception. It's easy when you see a movie and you root for the actors and you don't care too much for the stunt doubles. And considering Bobby Holland Hanton is like the most viral stuntman, getting a lot of like 1 million views on one video and 500,000 views on another one. When you're a family member, wife of Bobby or Mrs. Hanton, or you're Bobby's cousin or Bobby's brother, or when you're any stunt man or stunt woman's brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, you tend to look for them more, and you look for their actions. So you'll care about the performers, you care about the actors and their lines and their dialogue, but you will care more about the stunt people, and hopefully they make it, and whether they end up in the hospital. I'm sure Bobby has a lot. I hope I hope Bobby can, come on YouTube or anywhere and talk about those really hard days. I think he has before and a couple of times, but like just, you know, what does it feel like? One question I would have for Bobby is like, what is it like when you suffer an injury and you wonder if it's going to be permanent, or have you suffered something permanent and you can't do certain things anymore? Like maybe you twisted your ankle, and that, your doctor says, okay, you got to stop balancing on the right ankle. If you do that right ankle stunt, the right ankle go bye-bye, something like that, little things, your joints, your legs, your arms. So now that's what I was just thinking about right now. So this is one of my favorite books, of course. And when we think of our stunt people working hard for the next movie, training, it's always important to just, don't take it for granted, acknowledge what they do. So Bobby definitely has a following. Maybe that's why he's locked his Twitter a bit. But I'll send it his way anyway, and just give my thanks. And I will be doing a video soon thanking the stunt people, what I learned from thanking stunt people every single day for 2018. And I'll be covering more news. But this is not a news story so much as it was a profile of because nothing really important, that much more than just another day at the gym, basically, is what it was. So it gave me a chance to talk about a great stuntman. He'll be doing more movies until he can't, But I think Bobby has earned a really, and if he does, that's great. And I hope to see more, and more performances, more things. But of course, when you're watching Avengers, you're not watching Bobby, you're not watching Chris, you're watching Thor, you're watching Captain America, you're watching God forbid, Green Lantern. You're watching all these different heroes in action doing what they do. Whether Bobby does motion capture for CGI and they put CGI Chris Hemsworth on his face, or whether you get to see his face for half of a second, that's all that matters. So be kind, be cruel, be you, and until the next bit of news comes out.